Moving on to Murray State, we kind of buried the Memphis game, went over the corrections and things that we didn't do well. Had a good start to Murray State yesterday and a more physical practice today. Murray State is a hungry football team looking for their first win just like us, but it's going to be about what we do and how we execute and perform. That's what we challenge our guys and our coaches to do. Ogle, the quarterback, is a coach's son. He's very sharp. He knows where to go with the football. Got 3 really good receivers. The backs are solid. O-line is solid. But it's going to be about what we do and what's our approach to this game, and don't be relaxed. We need to have our full complement of intensity in all 3 phases. Defensively, they're a 4-2-5, 4-3 defense, 2 shell quarters, cover 3 man. They'll mix it up and bring a little bit of pressure. Then we got to make sure we emphasize the running game this week and try to get off to a good, fast start. Special teams, Coach Wright, who I've known for a while, is going to have fake possibilities. That's part of his repertoire and what he's done over his career, and I think they had maybe a number of fakes over the last 2 years, so we got to be prepared in the special teams area. Surprise onside kicks, fake punts, just them doing some type of gimmick, them being more aggressive on 4th downs. So our guys got to be really dialed in. With that, I'll open up for questions.
Are you able to provide any injury updates from some of the guys that lose the game on Saturday?
Yeah, we got some more guys down. BB Causey, he didn't practice today at corner. Who was that? Jordan Huff at safety couldn't practice today. Deuce Lewis couldn't practice today. Deandre Duffus couldn't practice today. TJ practiced. Finley, he practiced today. I think that was pretty much it. So that's the thing. When you play 2 really tough opponents, 2 physical games, you just got to recover, go to treatment, do your rehab, and try to get those guys back as the week progresses. So we're trying to be smart about that, and that's why it's a next man up mentality. And the guys that rep today got to be prepared to play in the game, which we repped a lot of freshmen or played a lot of freshmen in the past game. I mean, Chandler and Jordan getting his first start at nickel was relied on heavily, and then at the safety spot, corner spot, we could see some new guys surface because of the injuries that we have right now. We're still trying to fit and mix and find out who can execute at a high level and do what we're asking them to do.
You'd obviously rather be 2-0 than 0-2, but do you feel like the mood of the team, the energy in practice is still where you want it to be heading into this game?
Oh, yeah, it was great energy today. They're running around. Our kids understand who we played, and they understood the message that we gave our players, and, our whole season is ahead of us. So, but our main thing and our main focus is getting better this week and developing our entire roster, and we've been getting a lot of reps with a lot of guys because of the injuries, but also because we need to develop those other guys for the long run, and they've accepted that challenge and had a really good practice today, good physical practice. So got a lot of reps and got a lot of young guys in to fill in for those injured guys, as well as the good-on-good periods where we're really testing their knowledge, and they're not scout team players, to develop their knowledge of the game.
Right, Coach. You mentioned TJ working through his injury. If he is healthy, do you expect him to be the starting quarterback, or are you still open to having other guys fill that position just at this time?
Yeah, Cam Brown can easily start this game just based on injuries. He's a little nicked up as well. We're going to go with the guys going to give us the best chance to win. We'll see both quarterbacks in this game, I'm sure, provided TJ is healthy. If he's not, Cam Brown start the game.
And just tying into that in a way also, you mentioned post-game, and you mentioned it here, improving the running game. What does that entail? How do you work towards improving the running game? Just is it play calling, just better line play, maybe the running backs doing their job? When you say improving run play for people who are listening and watching, what does that entail?
Yeah, like the first week we had a better plan for the run game. This week we didn't have the plan wasn't as great. And Memphis did a lot to do with that too, and what they did defensively. So it's no discredit to no one. We have to be better as a staff and better as players and play with a higher level of effort and execution. Ultimately, it comes down to that. So we're all in this together. There's no blame pointed at no one, and we're taking it as that.
Coach talks about special teams and your kick return game. Were you pleased with the productivity?
Yeah, that one, the one was a tough catch for T.J. Payton, having to come up that far. The off returner really should have called him off, and he should have caught the ball. But other than that second one he had really should have went to the house if he'd have obeyed his rules. But he really hit it, and they did a good job of blocking and getting on guys. So we'll continue to do that. I know we're going to probably get some sky kicks and alternate kicks from Murray State. So that's our expectation going into this game because we feel like they don't have anything to lose, and we got to be prepared for the unexpected in the kicking game.
Good morning, Coach.
Hey.
You kind of mentioned it in your opening statement. Murray State has a top 20 FCS passer in Jim Ogle, and now you're mentioning some injuries to Huff and Calvi in the secondary. So just kind of curious, what's the approach to that challenge this week for the Panthers?
Yeah, whoever's healthy's got to play, and they got to line up and execute the call, and it'll be against some good competition. So we have to win the battle up front and do our job, play with great eye discipline. It was better, but it's not where it needs to be. And a noisy defense is a really good defense. We have to be a lot noisier on defense to make sure and confirm that we got the right checks and calls. We're a little too quiet right now from a defensive perspective and communication, and it's improving.
We know that you named KB Boyd and Josiah Robinson captains, even in the post-game presser. Do you make that decision right after the game, or is it something that you develop during the week, or you name those guys immediately? What goes into naming the team captain for a specific contest?
Well, actually, I named them yesterday, and it basically goes into what I see, how they played the game, things they did well, and it's not necessarily who graded out the highest, but who played Panther-type football, and those guys kind of exemplified that.
Wanted to ask about a few of those young guys. Grant Holly came in as a tight end. It seems like you're Kipton Matt White's a receiver. Are you just trying to use him right now as a freshman as just a general pass catcher?
No, he has to improve his blocking. I mean, that's the thing about most freshmen when they come in. I mean, even going back to Brock Bowers, he wasn't a great blocker initially, so you just got to kind of find out what guys can do and maximize that skill set until their deficiencies become even where they can compete and play winning football in the run game. He's getting better, too. He did an outstanding job today in some of our run blocking drills.
And then a guy like Jartavius working in so much early as a true freshman on defensive line, that feels pretty rare in that position group, I guess, in the trenches in general. I guess what, in his early days here, led him to get to this point?
How he practiced and how he plays and how he scrimmaged. Fall camp, he was dominant against our ones, and he's hard to move. He's a bigger interior D lineman that we have. He's about 320 pounds. He's strong at the point of attack, and he takes up space inside, and he helped keep the O-line off the linebackers. He can get some knockback, and his service is going to be needed for the remainder of the year. So he's just got to continue to improve. He needs to probably cut about 10 pounds. He's a little overweight, so maintaining, and his stamina is not where it needs to be. So I told him he needs to stop eating all that fried chicken and a slab of ribs and having all those bad eating habits, jokingly. But now Jartavius he's improving.
And then I guess the other one, Keelan Butler's playing a good bit at outside linebacker.
Yeah, the injury in the spring really set him back. He's still, I would say, I don't know if he's 100%, but he's a really sharp kid, plays the right way. He does everything you ask as a coach. He's going to be a leader. Really like his development and where he is. And if you're old enough, you're good enough, you're going to play. So we're not going to not play guys as long as they play the right way and they're playing disciplined, sound football. And those two guys have been doing that, along with Chandler Jordan, who started at nickel for us. He really didn't have a terrible game, and it's a lot of things that's put on his plate, but he's a sharp young man to make a lot of calls, and those guys will continue their growth, and they'll get better week by week.
We had a pretty good crowd last week for the first time. I know you guys have made an effort to reach out. What kind of things have you done, and have you and the players, the staff, to try to get more people involved?
Yeah, we've been trying to promote things on social media. I know I went on campus a couple of times. Went to the dining hall on Thursday, paid visits over there myself, and just trying to encourage our student body to be involved in the game. It's one thing to have a crowd, then the next step is to learn how to interact and when you need to be loud, and the gamemanship of being a true fan and creating an environment where our kids feel their energy and the opposing team feels their energy as well, where it's a distraction to them, especially when they have the ball on offense. But I was very encouraged and very pleased with the support from our students, faculty, and hopefully we'll have a bigger crowd this week and continue that trend of getting our students to the game, because it's more about their experience as a college student. And some student athletes were in the crowd as well. So it's just that experience of doing those things and living those moments and creating memories that you can't create nowhere else but at a football game.
When they show up and you're at the dining hall and the kid does it, especially McGee, there was some surprise. What's that interaction?
I wouldn't say a surprise. I'm just trying to fill them out and just, encouraging them to, get their tickets, come to the game. There's free transportation provided to our students, so there's no reason not to. And just connect with us and connect with one another. And like I say, I'm not sure about all the activities and activations that go around the stadium during the game, but that's a part of the experience, too, that I think might have been better. I'm not sure. Y'all may know better than I do. I'm not sure because I'm so locked in on what's going on. But just the experience of that, and we want to have a good football program, and they're needed for us to have one.
With the running backs, when you were position coach at UGA, it was pretty deep room as well. You had to rotate a lot of guys. Not so much on the ego side of things and like wanting playing time, but like keeping guys game ready at any moment if they're not going to get a ton of carries in the game. What kind of goes into that?
It still go back to your preparation, and you earn what you get. So how you prepare during the week. Did you maximize those reps when your number was called in practice? Can we trust you to do this job, or is it the next guy that's going to do it better? So that's always an evaluation process that occurs during the week, because every week the game plan is a little bit different, and there's some things that's altered to try to maximize who we think can perform and do certain things when they're warranted. So it's just it's a kind of a feel thing, but it just goes back to the preparation, and it's just hard. Second half for us, we didn't execute well on third down in the second half. So when you don't execute on third down, you can't maximize plays, and Memphis controlled the clock in the second half as well. So just your opportunities are limited when you're not getting third down stops and you're not converting third downs on offense, which cuts down on the reps for everybody. So the touches are limited when you don't convert in situational football.
And I guess on that, you had the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 right at the goal line early on. You didn't convert.
Yeah, very
Maybe
disappointing.
you don't want to, but does that put you off in short yardage situations going to the run game later in the game if you have that happen early on?
No, I think you guys trust your preparation and trust what you see, and you got to challenge our guys. It's a mentality. 3rd and 1. I mean, you can't block them all. The back guy better run over one. That's what we want to do, is leave one for the back in those situations where the defense sell out. Sometimes it has to be a play call where it's a little bit of deception to get our guy on the edge. I mean, even on the 4th and 1, if y'all go back and look at it, we had a wide open touchdown, but we didn't throw the post to Ted. So that's part of execution and not executing at the right time. So just got to do better.
I've got one non-Georgia State question
Mhm.
for you. Darren Miles, the Grady coach.
Yep.
Carver
Carver, Atlanta.
Carver coach is about to win its 150th game.
Mm-hmm.
You've known him, I'm sure, for 100 years. What kind of guy is he? What kind of program do you think he runs? And what would you think about Coach Miles?
Oh, Coach Miles, outstanding coach. We've been knowing each other 25 years, I would say. Does a tremendous job in the community. His teams are well prepared. He was in a situation, or still is in a situation, where he's dealing with not the best situation from parent support, facility support, and just the situation that his kids come from, the background that they're in. Not a lot of fathers are involved, so he really impacts that community and those players. And he's done that for a long time, and he's earned a lot of respect across the state, and he definitely has hours, and his school is always highly recruited. They always have good players, and a lot of that goes back to his preparation with his kids and teaching his kids the right things. And his kids are well-behaved, well-mannered, and, it goes against, some of the stereotypes that schools like Carver, Atlanta get from the outside world. And his teams are very disciplined, and they're not the stereotypical team that's portrayed in a bad way.
Are you surprised he's still there?
Because
people thought he was left years ago.
Yeah, sometimes you're on a mission and you see the mission deeper than financial gains. Obviously, he enjoys what he does and the people he worked with. So that's a question that you'll probably have to ask him. But obviously, he loves where he is, and he's done an outstanding job.
Coach, you've mentioned a couple of times this week, felt the defensive performance was better, but still things to improve on. Is that kind of how you read last game, watching the film?
Yeah, definitely. I think we started out great, but just got to work on finishing. And then, there's just a few plays in there that I feel like if it went different, it would have been a way better game, way better complete game from the defense.
What are just the general areas of improvement from the defensive end that you've seen that you can focus on coming into this Murray State matchup?
At least for me, on my perspective, I'm working on just having a perfect game when it comes to execute, aligning and sign, just having a perfect game from everybody, from the front seven to the back four.
Coach mentioned that the energy is still very high in the building. I'm just wondering if you could kind of speak on that and speak to the nature of this team.
For sure. It's early in the season, so definitely high energy. We expect to get our first win, Definitely that's how we come in every week. And I feel like just with the energy aspect, it's just, it's fun. This game is fun. So I want to see how you can come in with low energy.
Coach named you a captain for this upcoming game. I mean, you're a veteran, but still, yeah. I mean, what does that mean for you to be named a captain, and just what that means for your role as helping the team get ready for this upcoming week?
It's just as a captain, you have to uphold the standard that the coaches, they put for everybody, but they obviously, putting me as a captain, they show some trust in me. They see that what I'm doing is good. So obviously, I'm thankful for that. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I was like, does your approach change that you're a captain? Does the title really it means something, but does it really affect your preparation? Interacting with teammates?
Nah, I feel like as a leader, you have to uphold that standard, even if there's a week that I'm not a captain. Me being placed as captain shouldn't change what I'm doing. I should already be doing that.
Obviously, the penalty on the field goal ends up costing you guys. But I guess in general, because you're out there with special teams units, with the little things that are creeping up, what is going to have to happen for all of that to kind of get cleaned up?
I could say on the field goal, that was, I think that's a new rule, right? Yeah, it's pretty new rule. So that's something I gotta put in my head that you can't clap, and stuff like that. That's a penalty. But as in special teams as a whole, I think we just have to align and assign and just execute. When it comes to punt, kickoff return, we just got to do our assignments, spread the field, and close down on the runners.
I guess is it easy in those moments to have that, see something flash, maybe you can help with it, isn't your assignment, and then you know, that's when something goes wrong for, and not you specifically, just in general, is the urge there when you see the kick return coming your way enough to, like, it can take you out of your fundamentals for just that split second?
Yeah, definitely for some people, but you know, I feel like that comes to how much you train. You know how much you train them and you learn, and it should become secondhand to where it's like, oh, when that does happen, it's like instinct. You do it on instinct.
Coach mentioned just a list of injuries that are starting to already develop 2 games in, and a lot of new guys, whether transfers or freshmen, seeing time on the field. You as a veteran, how do you help get these guys acclimated on the field and just even off the field? Because a lot of guys are starting to see time maybe earlier than expected.
Mm-hmm. I think as a veteran, it's just you gotta bring them along. You know, I mean, obviously they should already be in the book. They should be up. You know, when their time's called, they should be ready. But you know, it's different when you're on the field. It's definitely different. So I just tell them to calm down. You know, you prepared for this moment. You know, and line in the sign.
You were talking about the energy. How
Mm-hmm.
much easier is it to have energy when you've got a good crowd out there? And the crowd wasn't bad for the opener, but what kind of things are you guys doing to kind of stir up interest among your other students?
You know, there's a lot of things we're doing. We're doing posting. You know, it's free tickets now for students for the games. So I think that's something that made them want to come out more. But just as energy for a football team, I personally believe whoever's in the stands shouldn't matter your energy. You know, it should be coming from the team. You know, because if we playing in a hostile environment, we shouldn't let the stadium and who's in there depict how we feel. You know. So I'll just say, like, for people in the stands, it's definitely great to see, you know, from last year into now, it's definitely great to see all the people in the stands. But for the energy for the team, we should keep that between us. You know, it should be us bringing that energy.
Obviously, stuff you don't want to clean up on the defensive side, but it's scheme. You're running a lot of, like, you got corner splitzing, got safety splitzing. Is it fun to play in that style of defense, even if there's stuff you still want to get better at through the course of the year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love an attacking defense. It just shows that we aggressive, you know, that we want to come after you get the ball.
So 0-3 is definitely a hole you guys don't want to fall in. So you kind of mentioned it as well. You guys are expecting to win this game. I know it's not no disrespect to Murray State, but obviously they're
a great
lower level
team.
than FBS,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So what are some key things that the Panthers are going to have to do? Maybe even you individually to go 1-0 this week.
Obviously, it just shows, you know, the previous weeks that the outcome didn't come in our favor. That just shows that we have to do just that much more, you know. So just coming into this week, it just has to be more watching film, more learning the assignments when it comes to executing things on the field and off the field. You just have to be more intent with those things and those actions.
I guess how's it been coming into Georgia State over the spring, into the fall, kind of settling into this new home for you?
It's been really great. I love the offensive system. I love my O-line coach, our offensive coordinator. They made it really easy with the transition. And just being in Atlanta, like, it's a really nice experience compared to being in a college town. So I love it.
Coaches harped on coaches harped on improving the run scheme, the run play, the running. Just as far as the offensive lineman, where do you see areas of improvement that could be needed, and just your role in improving the run game?
It's really the little things. Like, the smallest thing can make the biggest difference. Taking a lateral step or taking an angle step on a certain play can make the biggest difference out of everything. Because the last 2 teams we played did a lot of movement, and then this next team we're going to play is going to do movement. So the smallest things can make the biggest difference. All we have to do is hone in on the details and take the right steps, and really that make the biggest difference.
One of the biggest things with offensive line is cohesiveness, and you yourself, along with other offensive linemen, are new pieces. So I'm just curious how you guys are working on that cohesiveness on and off the field.
We try to hang out with each other, do things with the O-line as a group, get that connection going, because I know how it feels not to be connected in the O-line room. So we try to talk to each other, you know what I'm saying, do little things like play the game with each other, or go out with each other, go eat with each other, because the more you know the man next to you, the more you'll play for him.
You mentioned Coach Ross. What do you like playing under him as a position coach?
Coach Ross is really strict. He's going to tell you how it is and what it is, and he makes everything very clear, and he makes sure he tells us attention to detail on everything. So I feel like he makes everything really clear for us and concise. So like if you mess up, it's really on you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, right here. We've seen multiple quarterbacks already in 2 games playing. As a lineman, how difficult is that, and how do you just get acclimated to each of the guys, different cadences, just different styles of play? How have you and the O-lineman handling just the different quarterbacks getting playing time so far?
Really, we just talk to whoever's in, and then we go over the cadence with them and how they like it and what they're going to do when we're on the field. So it's not really a drop-off. Yeah, the standard is the standard. As long as we know the cadence and we know how they like some quarterbacks, the cadence may be a little slower or a little faster, but as long as we know that, we're good.
Asked Coach McGee about Dartavius playing early as a freshman. I guess you're kind of going up against him sometimes.
Yeah.
In the trenches. I guess, what is it like? How is he performing, being that he is a true freshman?
Dartavius is a really great player, and he's really strong to be a freshman, like surprisingly strong. I expect a lot out of him. I think he's going to be a really good player. Up front, gets a lot of knockback, and like I'm a 3rd-year guy, and my first time going against him, I was surprised. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be a really good player.
What was it about Georgia State that drew you here and made you interested in joining the program?
Coach McGee, really Coach McGee. His message and what he told me coming in and what they're trying to build, I was really interested, and I was really excited to turn the program around. So that was the main thing that drew me here.
They tell you you got a chance to start, play?
It wasn't more so that he was just talking about the culture of Atlanta and the things that we can do here and changing the program, the face of the program around here. That was really the main thing.
And I know last week was a pretty good crowd for those. And what kind of things have you guys done to get more student involvement, more kids, more guys coming out to watch the game?
We've been trying to send out players to certain student events to support so they can see our faces, because I know sometimes they may not see the football players right along campus. So we've been trying to send players out, get involved with the student, like the student body, and to have them come support us, so we go support them.
When you go out and do that, what's the reception that you get?
Well, the students enjoy it. A lot of students didn't even know that the tickets were free. The free ticket thing, they thought they had to pay, so that was one of the reasons they wasn't coming out. So just letting them know that the tickets are free and that we appreciate them for coming, and that going out to support them, it goes a long way.
Is it easier to play when there's a big crowd?
I say the energy is a little different. When you have a big crowd out there, you know what I'm saying, sometimes it can jumble the defense, their defense, or it can help our defense out. And then it probably just brings a little bit more confidence, but the standard shouldn't drop regardless of who's out there. But it does help to have a bigger crowd out there.
Any other questions?
Sorry, one last question I asked Josiah, so I'll ask you, what are some things that you guys as a team and you individually will need to do this week to go 1-0?
Focus on the little things, and me versus me. That was the message this week. Seeing what you need to do to get better. I know me, some small things I have to do to get better, like coming off the ball, not hesitating, bring the attack to the opponent at all times. So we just got to focus on the details, because the smallest thing, it really is the biggest difference. Like we watch film Monday coming back, and we noticed how the smallest things could have had us win the game or could have changed the tide of the game. So really the small things, the details.